And for more on this sad development, let's speak with a security expert, Inko Taria Ipalibo. He joins us live via Zoom from Jos. Good to have you join us. And it's quite sad under the circumstance, in which we are speaking.
It's a pleasure having you.
So let's talk about, because, you listen to that particular report, and I mean, you live there, so you know exactly what happened. For some Nigerians, it's not just, again, this particular attack, is how long it went on for unabated, and that's what's shocking for a lot of Nigerians, that nothing was done in the 3 days that this was going on for. I want to get your thought, first of all, because you live there, on this particular area, this particular local government. Speak to us about the terrain that allows for this kind of attack to go on without any intervention from security agencies.
Well, the unprovoked attacks, from the attackers on the several local governments in the several villages in Mangu local government, it's unfortunate and very appalling. That's because before the attack, the attackers had sent messages. So we are not talking about gathering intelligence. The information was already available to everybody that they were coming. Now, the various security agencies ought to have put proactive measures in place to prevent the attack. So it's painful that despite the prior information that was given, the attacks still went on and continued for 3 days. So we are yet to understand why, for whatever reason, the security agencies have not been able to put an end to the attacks.
That's a question I was going to ask you, if you have any inclination as to why there was no response from security agencies, and also speak to us about the security architecture there in Jos that could have helped, or in Plateau State, that could have helped respond to this particular attack.
Well, just like every other state, we have the presence of the military. As a matter of fact, there is Rukuba Barracks here in Plateau State in Jos, and then we have the Operation Safe Haven that was put together to prevent things like this. And then we have the various police and civil defense formations in the state. And then Mangu, it's painful because Mangu is less than 2 hours from Jos. And the level of security presence around that axis, because of the incessant attacks in that axis, should have been sufficient to prevent it. So for whatever reason, we are not clear as to why the forces were not put together to prevent the attacks or to stop it.
And I asked you that question because over and over again we hear, security experts like yourself say, look, we do not have enough security personnel in the country. They're overstressed. We need to employ more. And I just wanted you to get Nigerians to have an idea of what security architecture is in Plateau State, that could have responded but did not respond whilst this was going on. But we understand that...
Go ahead. It's no secret that the security architecture or the provision and the security arrangement we have in the entire country is not adequate. We all know about that. And then as a result of that, we've decided, the citizens have decided to group themselves together to form vigilante networks to watch over their communities. But not every community can boast of the young men or the energetic people that could form any form of community security network. So we still hope and expect the various security agencies, in the state and in the country, at least to concentrate on areas of communities that are being attacked.
But Mr. Ipalibo, even with that, the state vigilantes have their limitations in terms of the kind of weapons they can handle. or not. But I also wanted to ask you, as a security expert, I know that there is a peace-building agency in Plateau State. One wonders whether that is sufficient in a time like this. What more can be done to ensure these communities in Plateau State are well secured and these kind of attacks do not repeat themselves? Because sadly, some people think, look, this is going to happen again if things are not put in place.
Yeah, the peace building agencies we have in Plateau State, they are working, but you know, the nature of work they are doing will take a long time before we will begin to see the result and the effect. They are discussing, dialoguing, and dialoguing with the various interest groups, religious groups, and tribes in the state. So eventually, we will have a certain degree of peace. But the truth is, the people perpetrating this crime, they are not domiciled in Plateau State. They are not. We have Fulanis who have been in Plateau and have lived peacefully with the Plateau indigents. But the attackers are external Fulani headsmen that invade the community. So even if the peace building agency is in touch or they are talking with the Fulanis that reside in Plateau, such discussions has no effect on the external Fulanis.
Let's stay with the description of headsmen and not by ethnicity. But thank you so much for talking to us. Accept our condolences. This is quite sad, and we just hope that there is no repeat. But we can only hope, actually, that there is no repeat of such incident. We've been speaking with security expert from Jos, Inko Taria Ipalibo.